What's up, everybody? It's your boy Instinct, and today this is my second debate on my channel. And before we start this, I got slapped pretty hard by my boy Korin, and this is actually my first time I'm using a Toho character in a debate, which is, as you know, Flandre Scarlet versus Goku. If y'all enjoyed this video, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe to my channel, and let's watch the debate.
Yeah, let's not waste any more time.
All right, sure.
Anyway, we ready
So
to go?
today,
Yep.
yeah,
Okay, so since I feel like stealing Infinite's role this time, welcome
All right.
everyone to the tourney debate between the corn on a cob with too many fucking ears O'Keefe and the man Ultra Instinct ripoff Toho Goku.
What up?
Today, the debate is going to be Scarlet versus Goku anime manga movies.
Flandre Scarlet
Yeah, Flandre Scarlet.
versus.
Yeah, Flandre Scarlet versus Goku. I already said that. Anyway, so let's get this show on the road. I'm a mute. Judges, we do judge stuff. So.
that was the weakest opening I've ever heard in my life.
Eat a
Oh
dick.
God.
It really. No one gives a shit. Just start.
All right, so Instinct, for the record, right, doing this is a Universal Plus Cap tournament, MFTL Plus Speed Cap. We agreed to add a character before the debate. You and I did. So you want to start off with your AP argument?
All right. Let me get my scans before I explain it. Don't want to waste time here. All right. Well, basically, for Flandre Scar for AP and durability, she would at least be like Universal Plus, since we're capping it there. Basically, according to the perfect memento in the strict sense, it indicates that vampires seem to have superior strength to that of Oni, and this would logically include the likes of Sukia or Suka, whatever her name is. And Sukia effortlessly shattered the heavens with ease, which are referred to as a paradise. The worm were sorry about that. And Matava, I don't know what that is, who is Googleplex is larger than the observable universe lives. Amitava or whatever has been calculated to be like I don't know, but like it's at least to be calculated to be larger than our own universe. But this will be like only like our final universal range. But you can argue this to be universal plus because like it can like easily like it does have a space time and like Sukia actually shattered the heavens, which is like actually a space time continuum on a universal scale. So that could be universal plus, and I'll post the scans for it if you want.
Sure, go ahead and do that. That's fine.
All right, where they at? Let me post them. Can you see the first scan?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, basically the heavens are like at least one space-time continuum in size, so that would at least be on a universal plus scale.
All right, and you said this is finite?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, like basically like the size of an observable universe in terms of like finite, right? Universal space-time, Uni Plus, right?
Yeah. Sorry I sound
Right.
a little vague on that part, but I'll try to explain the best I can.
That's fine. Is this the only scan, or you have anything else you want to post?
I'm going to check real quick, because I'm trying to get her above baseline. Cool. Right. Let me post in scan number 2. Basically, the observable universe is like 1 billion light years across, right?
I mean, sure.
Yeah, but like, and the scan is stated to be much larger than that, and that's all I got for that so far.
All right, so it's basically much larger than like the observable universe.
Basically, yeah.
All right. Well, I'll accept this as like Uni Plus.
All right.
I'll go on to my AP argument now. That's fine. Is that cool?
Yeah, that's cool.
All right, so starting off, right, a couple things to go over. Goku in Battle of Gods as a Super Saiyan God showcased power that was capable of annihilating the entire universe, preference annihilate, and turn it into an empty, like, void, an empty void of nothingness. I'll start getting the scans for that too. So basically, right, as a Super Saiyan God, he clashed with Beerus. Their fish class was literally threatening to annihilate the entire universe and turn it into an empty void of nothingness, which implies like literal like space-time annihilation, as it would be a void of nothing. And Goku would go on to absorb this power and surpass it as a Super Saiyan and in his base form later on. And we also see later in Super as well, when he fights Jiren the Grey, the same Jiren, just from casually powering up, shook the entire World of Void, which is stated to be infinite in size. And Goku also did the same when he first went Ultra Instinct Omen Phase 1. So, right off the bat, 2 consistent Universal Plus feats on an infinitely large space-time continuums. And I'm going to post the scans.
I've seen those scans before, so I'll accept that.
You accept, like, I'm destroying infinitely large space-time?
Yeah.
All right. You want to go to your speed argument?
All right. As for my speed, let me search for them. Shouldn't be that difficult. For speed, she should at least be MFTL plus, since we both agreed to cap it there. And yeah. And within, she's at least comparable to Marissa, who was able to cross the Amitava size, and it is calc to be like at least 93 billion light years across, and Marissa was able to travel through that, and Flam was able to contend with her at least. And I'll show you scans on that.
Sure.
I'll get you more than that. Give me a second.
No problem.
Yeah, basically that's all I got for now.
All right, I'll check this out.
I'm gonna look for that other scan too. You can check it out while I'm looking for it.
Is this the speed calc right here?
Yeah, basically. And Marissa was able to cross that. Who Flandre scaled to at least.
All right.
Oh, I found my scan and yeah, got my scan now.
Yeah, like, do you have her keeping up with this character? Oh, is this it?
Yeah. I'll give you a timestamps.
All right.
Basically. Yeah, that's all I got.
That's cool. Yeah, I'll accept that. So I'll move on to my speed. If that's cool.
Yeah, sure, that's cool.
So with Goku, um, we've already seen during the 7-year time skip between the Cell games and the Buu saga that base Goku alone was able to traverse the afterlife within around like 10 seconds up to like 10 minutes, and I'll post a calc for that as well. But pretty much the afterlife itself, we have the planet Heaven, which is confirmed to be about as wide as the universe. And there's also Hell, other realms as well, other planets like the other Kyle planets. Pretty much base Goku traversed this within around 10 minutes, as I mentioned. And even on the low end, I can argue higher, but even on the low end, it's calculated to be 8.34 quadrillion times the speed of light. And it's already like base Goku during the 7-year time skip between the Cell games and the Buu saga, like before Super or anything like that. And like here's the feat and the calc right here if you want to see it.
Yeah.
He casually does it. Yeah. And I can argue higher for this calc if needed, but as of right now, I'm just going to go ahead and point this out.
Oh yeah. Let me read that.
Yeah, 4.38 quadrillion times the speed of light, like as a bare minimum calc for his base form before Super even was a thing.
All right, I accept that.
Okay. So you want to move on to your first win con?
Oh, sure.
Unless you want me to go first, it's up to you.
Well, I can go first since you got done with your thing. So I'm gonna do my thing now.
Cool.
All right. I can like argue that she has like physics manipulation, meaning like all yokai can control the world through physical and mental layers. The physical layer follows the law of physics. The mental layer represents spiritual, emotional, and mind. And I'll get you the scans for that.
All right. All right. It popped up.
Yeah.
I'm checking it out. So you're basically saying physics, right? Like you said something about it correlates the spirit and mind and all that. Like, what do you mean by that?
Basically, the first is the physical layer that moves in accordance. Oh wait, I already. Well, one of the layers, which is like the mental layer, one's mood turning sour when meeting an unpleasant person and releasing all your stress and cares during a party lie here. Since most yokai can control the world through both physical and mental layers. I'm sorry. They they say that history repeats itself and the future is predetermined as a rank. So basically, I can argue if Flan sees any like anger or stress in Goku, she can just basically releases all her stress.
Oh, yeah, but would that even be a factor right now? Because Goku's not going to be like showing any type of aggression or stress right here, right here. So this only works if like Goku showcases anger and stress, or is that what you're saying?
Yeah, basically.
I mean, I would argue Goku's not going to get angry and stressed because he was also trained as a kid to fight while remaining calm of mind as well. And we also know it takes a lot, like even in character, to like trigger Goku, like death of his friends, stuff like that. He is actually a very calm of mind fighter, and he's actually trained to do so by Popo and Kami to remain calm of mind when fighting. I can post that if you'd like.
Sure.
Like, all right. All right. In the manga and the anime, like Popo even says, "Yeah, I'm going to train you to not only be calm of mind, but to like move faster than lightning." Obviously, the lightning part doesn't matter, but like the fact is, he trains Goku how to fight while remaining calm of mind. It's not to get frustrated, aggravated, predictable. And obviously, I give examples of like it does take a lot to even tick Goku off, even in character. Like for example, he didn't want to go all out on Frieza until after like Frieza killed his buddy Krillin right there. And it's like it does actually take a lot to even make Goku get frustrated. And again, even as a kid, he was trained to legitimately be calm of mind, remain calm of mind while fighting, not to get frustrated. And he's thus far like surpassed that ever since then, by far. So I say like Goku through this fight, he's just going to be really calm, very calm of mind. He won't get aggravated. He actually enjoys fighting more often than not. Welcomes it.
All right.
Yeah. So I would say like the way you describe this, it really wouldn't have much effect because he's not going to be frustrated and show any indications for you to like trigger your ability.
All right, I'll accept that.
All right. Well, you accept it. So your ability won't really have much effect in this situation.
I guess in a way.
All right. But you care if I go into a WinCon?
Already did my WinCon, but you could go to yours. Will
All
you
right.
counter mine?
Okay. I'm just going to argue that Goku just has greater AP than your dude, and I'm just going to stack on like Kaioken times 20 and one shot your guy. And I'm going to also argue that Ki itself, I'm going to be hitting you with not only a physical blow, but also spiritual and mental. I'm going to be attacking your mind, soul, and body. I'm going to prove that Ki itself is all three of those in nature as a concept in Dragon Ball. So when Goku does go to overwhelm you, he's going to be overwhelming your mind, body, and spirit as a whole. And I can explain why that is if you'd like.
Oh, sure.
And also, I claimed my AP was greater. I can also explain why that is as well if you'd like.
Sure.
All right, so that was one of the first ones. So I'll go ahead and explain why I claim that. That's because you specifically said that you're universal plus, but on a finite, observable universal scale. And while you did prove your universe was larger than the observable, still unquantifiably larger, whereas I demonstrated the ones I'm annihilating, or affecting, heavily affecting, right, or annihilating, either one you could say, are infinitely large. So by default, I would be above you in that sense, because you're destroying. Yeah, you're on a universal plus scale, but to a finite degree, where I'm destroying an infinitely large universal space time and affecting them. So me also stacking on like Kaioken times 20 would just put me even more above that on a baseline, like 20 times above baseline to that degree. And so that's my explanation for that. If you have any questions, let me know, or I can just move on to like the other stuff.
All right, but I gotta counter for that actually.
All right.
I can actually argue that Flandre Scarlet has intangibility. I'm about to show you why, then I'll explain it.
Well, okay, but just to ask, right? What is this going to be a counter for? Like, do you accept that I'm above you in AP, or are you trying to counter me attacking you spiritually and mentally?
Basically, you're trying to counter your like spiritual and mental attacks.
Will you accept I'm above you in AP?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, go on. I just want to make sure I don't want to like miss
Yeah.
anything.
Basically, her intangibility, I'm trying to argue, is that she can like transform into a flock of bats or a cloud of mist unharmed by these body attacks. And I give you a timestamp in the video below.
Okay.
I gave you that. Damn, I posted
Well,
it damn twice. Yeah, keep going.
it's fine. Fine. I was gonna say, yeah, she could turn intangible, but I was wondering why would that counter me attacking like your mind, spirit, and like physical? Yeah, that would actually counter the. I'll say this, right? Physically, sure. However, I'm still attacking you on a spiritual and a mental level, so all that inherently grant you protection from that.
All right, let me argue some more.
Also, would you like to see my argument for that, or you accept it right off the bat?
Sure, you can. I would like to see that argument for that.
Okay. Well, for one, we also have a direct confirmation, confirmed statement from Akira Toriyama himself that even states that Goku, the reason he's able to fight the strongest like beings in all the universe is through strengthening his ki. And ki as a concept in Dragon Ball, right, is mental, spiritual, physical based as a concept in Dragon Ball itself. And this obviously is backed up because we see other characters use their ki to break out of like mind control. We see this with Majin Vegeta. We see Goku resist, spiritual based attacks like the Hakai, for example. And again, this is backed up by Goku actually showcasing he can fight some of the most powerful beings in the universe through training and, in turn strengthening his ki. So I would actually say, yes, it's mental, spiritual, and physical in nature. That's all. And you have to actually train that as well. And I also actually post those scans.
All right, sure.
All right. And we also see Goku utilize spiritual type of energy as well, like Genki. Obviously, that's part of the idea of Ki in Dragon Ball. Yuki, Shoki, physical, right mindedness, spiritual, all that in nature. He has to strengthen all of that. And we've seen characters use their ki to literally resist spiritual and mental based attacks.
All right. I got something that can counter that too.
All right, sure.
Even if you kill me, I can argue that Flandre Scar has type A immortality. And I'm going to post the scans right now if you want.
Sure. But I wasn't, but sure, but I would like to say I'm not going to argue like necessarily killing you per se. But go on and post them. That's fine.
So basically what the scans are explaining here is like, since Flan is a confirmed yokai, and it means that all yokai embodies a phenomenon and will continue existing as long as the phenomenon is not explained or their existence is forgotten. So basically, Flan is a yokai, so she'll be conceptually linked to that.
All right. I'm looking over this now. I mean, that's cool, right? She likely does. What is implying here? She likely does have type 8, but I mean, I'm not necessarily going to have to kill you to take victory here. I'm still going to be arguing Goku's just going to beat the hell out of you and just knock her ass out, right? Knock her unconscious, break her up, because he's going to just break her down piece, bone by bone, piece by piece, whatever. Because I'm also going to be like not only physically harming you, which obviously I said the intangibility would protect you from physical harm. However, the spiritual and mental still remain. So Goku is in like ki imbued fist, his blast, all that. I'm still going to be overwhelming you with not only greater AP, but also hitting you on a mental and a spiritual level at the same exact time as well. So I'm just going to completely overwhelm her mentally, spiritually, till she's just worn out and done. Just knock the F out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Even then, I can argue to have low, high, and low godly regen. Basically, she can regenerate solely from her non-corporeal mind. And I'll post the scans here in a bit. And then I'll get to the low, high stuff if you want.
Sure, just one step at a time, whatever you... Just take it easy.
I got you. Damn, this scan looks weird. Hold on, give me a minute.
All right.
That's just like the middle stuff. I'm gonna get to the other stuff right now.
Sure.
And sorry I didn't explain this to you like earlier, but I can argue, argue that her low high region can resist like spiritual attacks. That means she can just regenerate from just her head. I'm gonna post the scans right there as well.
Okay.
All right, let me get that scan. Damn, it ain't even loading. All right, it should be here now. All right, there it is.
Okay. I got it. So yeah, like region, but just to be clear, right? Because aren't you arguing still intangibility, or you're going to like a region as well to like back that up, for example? Because like if you're still intangible, I would simply still argue that again, I'm not going to like be dismantling your body or anything. I'm just gonna like overwhelm you mentally and on a spiritual level. Like I'm just gonna overwhelm you in that regard and just exhaust you and just completely attack you on a mental and spiritual level and beat the living heck out of you. Just knock you until you're just unconscious and can't fight anymore. Can't fight. It's GG. I'm not gonna like be trying to rip you up and stuff. I'm just gonna be like shooting ki blasts at you, hitting you on a mental and spiritual level, right? And then also, if my fists are imbued with ki, they will also be able to interact due to being spiritual and mental, not just physical in nature. So, like, sure, if I were to try to like cut you up and like dehead you and stuff, right? This could probably help you out, but I'm not going to be attempting that. I'm just going to kick your ass, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, shoot blast at you on a mental and spiritual level and just beat you up, you know, knock you out with my greater AP / my like, I guess you could call it like a multi-layered attack in a sense, like because I'm hitting you on multiple different levels, like a multi-leveled attack.
Well, basically, I see that, right? But I just explained to you that her like Loha region will resist like spiritual attacks. Let me explain to that more.
I mean, if you want to go into a little more detail, sure, that'd be cool. Just a little more on why it would help her resist spiritual, like her spirit being attacked.
Hey,
Everything cool?
yeah, that's cool. Everything's good.
Okay.
Damn, I'm still looking for that. Man.
It's cool. Don't feel
Oh, I'm not.
rushed or pressured. Yeah, we're cool.
Oh, I'm not. I'm chill, bro.
Nice. Chill as ice.
Had well, basically, the scan that I just posted there, like it can actually resist, or even if you don't agree with that, it can actually blow up, like beats up. She actually has been shown to get beat up by lots of times by other people, and even if she gets her arm cut off or anything. But I know you're not trying to argue none of that. But either way, she just regenerates from any attack, even spiritual attacks. But I'm not trying to apply no limits fallacy here, to be fair.
All right. I mean, let's say this, right? Let's say this does allow her to like protect herself from spiritual as well. Like the fact remains, right? The mental attack. Also, Goku not only is going to start off stronger than you, like in base, due to him like affecting and dealing with infinitely large space times, right? So I also argued like the Kaioken times 20. So I'm also going to be overwhelming you with this intense mental attack at this point. So all my ki is still going to be affecting you on a mental level at this point as well. So you're still going to be getting hurt mentally and just mentally overwhelmed and exhausted from my attacks, and it's just going to overwhelm you because I'm already that just much stronger than you as well. Like not only we're both Uni plus, but you're to a finite degree where I'm on an infinitely large space time. Also, I'm 20 times above that baseline as well. So I'm also going to be like overwhelming you with far more power in this situation. Plus, the mental aspect still remains as well, even if you were to resist the spiritual. And I already said, yeah, the intangibility would help with the physical part, sure. But the mental does still remain, and the power gap does remain as well.
I guess I'll. I mean, we already agreed that the power and speed are above me, right?
Well, yeah, you gave me
Yeah.
like the power already, and you already granted like everything else I've been arguing. So that's what I'm saying. At this point, I'm already above you in base, and once I go Kaioken times 20, I've already was above you regardless because I'm dealing with an infinitely large space time continuum where you're just a finite. You're unquantifiably above like our observable universe, dealing with space and time on that regard. But I'm on an infinite scale in terms of like a singular space time that's infinitely large, and I'm also amping myself with 20 times at bare minimum, right? So I'm going to be 20 times above that baseline requirement, and I'm also going to be like hitting you with all that much more power on top of effect, like hitting you mentally with that kind of power as well. So I'm going to be affecting your entire mental structure with my key and blast. You're going to be just mentally wore out and done. I'm just going to wipe you out mentally. It's not even a physical, like spiritual regeneration type stuff at this point. I'm just strictly mental at this point. Overwhelming mental attacks.
I mean, I see what you're going there, but how would a mental attack would be able to kill someone who has type A immortality, though? Just wondering.
Well, that's a little bit of a straw man because I'm not really saying I'm gonna kill you. I'm saying I'm gonna exhaust you and wear you out and attack you on a mental level, though. Like your mental status is gonna be just screwed over to a very considerable degree. Because I already can overpower you in base alone, and I'm going Kaioken times 20, which is another 20 times on top of me already hurting you and overwhelming you with a mental based attack. And that's 20 times more on top of that. So like I'm just gonna argue if your character can't handle that, you're gonna likely just get one shot because of the power difference on top of me being able to like affect the mind with that power gap. I'm just gonna knock you out. I'm not gonna try to kill you. I don't like that's not my main goal. I'm gonna knock you out and exhaust you, cripple you mentally. Like each blow is gonna cripple your mental state. You're just gonna be done.
All right, you want to leave this part to the judges, I guess?
I mean, sure. That's
Since
what you
like
want to do.
since we both like can't accept each other's argument.
Yeah, sure. That's fine.
All right.
You have anything else you want to bring up?
All right. I got one more thing.
All right, sure.
All right. All right, where is it? All right. All right, I can argue that she has fire manipulation, which I'm supposed to scan right now. God with me.
All right. What kind of manipulation did you say?
Fire manipulation?
Oh, fire?
Yeah, basically it means that Flandre has a spell card where she swings a big sword of flame at you. And basically, it's actually a huge sword. And actually, like, yeah.
Okay. So you're going to argue she's going to like, I don't know, right? But I'm just asking, are you going to, with this flame, are you going to argue, what are you arguing exactly? She's going to like burn me up or what?
Well, not just that. I can argue, and one of her scary parts of the sword is that it's not even the sword itself. It's that the swinging the sword alone will produce a hellfire of bullets, which I'm trying to argue Damaku as well.
All right.
So again, I posted.
Yeah.
And basically, I'm trying to argue area of effect as well.
All right. Can I ask a question? Like, is there any type of special properties to this though? or is it just like what's the main goal here? Is it just like burn me to a crisp? I'm just asking, right? Is it affect the soul or what?
Basically, it's just regular. I haven't really have anything to actually like use it on the spiritual level. It just basically it just burns you, not on the spiritual or anything.
All right. Well, can I ask you something else?
Sure.
How potent would you say this flame is? Would you say it's like comparable to your own AP, higher, lower, what?
Well, I can argue that she has used this against her sister Amelia, who should be comparable to Rimu. I'll try to find the scans.
I'm okay with that. I was just wanting to know
Okay.
what level is Rimu on?
Like, what do you mean? Like,
Are they all just around the same tier, right? All these girls.
like some of them are above them, but not everyone's at the same tier. I mean, they're all at least uni plus, but some of like Rimu, she was actually suppressed.
Uh, yeah, but regardless, right? The main question I'm trying to ask is, so would this flame? You would say this flame, right? Would this flame work on people who are in your same tier, at least of power, though? Right?
Yeah, at least.
Yeah. Okay. And you argue an area of it.
Yeah, basically. And like
Okay.
them. Yeah.
All right. Well, I would just argue Goku turned Super Saiyan, put up a key barrier, and this flame wouldn't have any effect on him at all because it's far more potent than the flame. Since I'm already more power, since you already accepted me being more powerful than you in base, I'm just going to go 50 times above that, put up a key barrier so area of effect wouldn't matter because I'm just far more potent than your flame. And my key also works on like a spiritual, mental, and like physical level. So I wouldn't see any reason why the flame would work.
All right. Since I've got no more arguments, guess we could just go to the judges.
All right. Yeah, we can just go straight to the judgment. That's fine. Fine with me.
All right, you guys want to do conclusions first before you
Yeah.
go to the judges? All right, yeah, do that first.
All right. You can go first with your conclusion.
All right. As for me, I actually proved that Flandre Scarlet is at least universal plus, and she is like bare minimum 9.3 billion times the speed of light. And I already proved that like, yeah, that's probably about it.
All right. Well, for my conclusion, I was arguing Universal Plus, but I proved that my character wasn't just destroying like unquantifiably larger than a finite observable universe space time. I proved mine's affecting and destroying like infinitely large space time. He brought up his first win con. I countered that with Goku remaining calm of mind and being just a badass, right? Just being trained since a little kid to be remaining calm of mind, just fighting off instincts and stuff like that. Not getting aggressive only in certain situations where he gets aggressive. I pointed out, so I countered that. His first win con wouldn't really have any effect. He accepted that. I moved on to mine, where I was arguing stat amplifications, and I moved into also how I was arguing how key was spirit. It was going to affect him on like a spiritual, physical, mental, level. All three levels. I gave him the physical part for intangibility. I was like sure, and I was also like sure, even if like it didn't affect you spiritually, the mental part still lasted and is still there. And I was grandstanding and driving that point home. I felt pretty good, and it wasn't actually countered. We left it up to the judges, but I did want to point that out. And then we left that point up to the judges. And then we got to the next point, the fire manip. I asked him the potency, and then I argued, well, Goku was just her Super Saiyan and just be 50 times above base, which is already above your potency level. And he was just like easily neg the fire because not only is it more potent, but it's also spiritual, mental, and physical in nature. So that's my conclusion right there. I would say overall, I proved Goku would be able to overwhelm him mentally. I proved Goku could resist everything he had and counter everything he had. So judges, go on.
I'll go first. So I'm not really gonna go over the other points except for the point that you guys left to the judges because pretty much all the other points go over the one point that was left to the judges, and that was like Korin arguing that like he would like mentally overwhelm Instinct's character. So Instinct, one question I have for you, what exactly were you like trying to like counter with that? Because like I was kind of confused on what you were like trying to counter it with.
Like, what do you mean?
Like when Korin said he was gonna mentally overwhelm you, what did you like try to like counter that with? Because I was a little confused how you were going about it.
Well, I have no idea because this is actually my first time using her.
Well, I can kind of. I don't mean to like speak up, but like Instinct was trying to argue like if I try to kill him and cut him up, he was arguing his like low godly region in Type 8, but I explained.
Oh yeah, that.
That I wasn't trying to kill him though. I'm still going to just mentally overwhelm him and exhaust his body and his mental state though, his overall mental state, and just wear him out and knock him the f out. I wouldn't go try. I didn't argue kill him at all and like cut him up at all.
The thing is, I'm gonna have to give this point to Korin because he wasn't like exactly like physically hurting your brain. This is more like, you know, it's mental. He's kind of just overwhelming it with like the key base attack, which he was specifically arguing targets the mind. And Instinct, you could have actually like countered this if you like pushed your low high regeneration more, but Korin, I do feel, did argue his point better, so I'm gonna have to give that to Korin.
So I guess
all right. Yeah, go on. But speak up. Hello?
Okay.
Well,
okay. Can you all hear me?
Yeah.
Pretty decent.
Okay. So for my judgment, right? For the whole AP thing, yeah, Korin obviously won that. Like, yeah, like Instinct got his guy to just like destroying finite universes where Korin said he's gonna destroy like two like universal space time continuums. So he got his AP higher. Let's also with this speed, pretty much the same thing. Instinct billions, Korin quadrillions, pretty much ends that. Pretty much like most of the hacks were like Korin was able to get around. He was mainly grandstanding like his Genki Yuki Shoki argument, or just mental, or just like physical, mental, spiritual, all that shit. Like Instinct did come up with like a good way to try and get around it with the whole like his immortality. But then Korin kind of just like pressed on like on the whole point of like, oh, I'm not trying to kill you. I'm trying to like mentally exhaust you, beat you down mentally, spiritually, and all that shit. And yeah, and once he like added on with like the whole amping shit and scaled it to the rest of his crap, like it's pretty much like he already has like a massive AP advantage times like 20 plus like a massive speed edge, so it's quite literally just a blitz in one. It's just a blitz and just beat till you're like dead, or like not dead, until you're like knocked out. So yeah, so I think Korin took this like low difficulty.
All right. Anyone else?
I guess I'll give my thoughts. So, obviously, I already agree with everything Slick said, along with what Debater said. So, talking about that or just rehashing it wouldn't really be relevant. But I did notice one thing no one really called out. I was talking about this in the commentary chat. So first off, instinct. You have an issue when it comes to confidence. I noticed in the debate. I noticed in the beginning, up until later on, you were like having problems talking, and you were just overall being slower because of your lack of confidence. That's something that'll happen over time, but I recommend working on your confidence over time, and then just not even worrying about who you're debating, but rather on what the debate is, because that will like help you be much more efficient when you debate people. It'll help you press people a lot more and a lot better. So I can talk to you about that after though.
All right.
So anyway, is this it?
Yeah, GG. You know, good debate, bro.
Alright.
GG, Korin moves on.